Daniel, here today supporting Barry Michael for his book launch. As an Aussie fighter coming up, what has Barry meant for you? As you know, when you're coming up in the ranks in the early days, you have probably got a memory of his fights than some of us. So yeah, tell us about it.
I definitely watched a lot of Barry's fights growing up when I was a kid, and loved his style, loved how ferocious and tenacious he was as a fighter, and definitely kind of pushed on me a little bit to want to be like that as well. And he's a great guy as well, so it's great to be down here with so many other world champions.
Tell us about your experience. You fought at the not only got to fight at the 2000 Olympics, but you got to fight in Sydney. What was that experience like for such a young fighter back in the day?
So it's pretty awesome experience. I was 19 years old, so just basically a kid, and made the Olympic team. We spent a good part of the 3-month training camp overseas. Then a couple of weeks before the Olympics, we came back to Australia, and wow, it was crazy. Like, flew into Sydney, and Olympic fever had hit. It was an awesome place to be. We got our Olympic gear, and everywhere we walked, the people were stopping us, talking to us, and it was nothing that we'd ever been prepared to do. So it was a great experience, and obviously to represent your country at the Olympics was an awesome thing, and I was the first Australian to fight at the Olympics as well. So the roar that I heard from the crowd when I walked out for my fight was awesome. It still gives me shivers now.
You had an amazing pro career as well. You fought absolutely everyone. Felix down in Germany. You fought Mundine a couple of times, lost controversially first time. What was your highlight? What was like the thing you're most proud of that you achieved?
So obviously I won a title against Daniel Dawson, IBO world title, and at the time it was a pretty amazing experience. Then the second time I went to Germany, the first time, and fought Sebastian Sylvester for the IBF title. And taking the title off the German champion as well was massive. But then going back again very soon afterwards to take my IBF title over, risk that, and fight for his WBA title. That was really one of the highlights for me. He defended his title, I believe it was like 11 times before that, and it was definitely not favoured to win that fight, but I went over there with confidence and trained my ass off for it, and it came in with the goods.
Yeah, definitely. And you had those two fights with Mundine, and I remember back at the time you made some comments about your background and stuff. Yep. What's your relationship like with him today?
I knew all the stuff through the preparation for the fights and that. It was all him trying to get in my head. So that was like water off a duck's back. It didn't bother me at all. I've seen him at different events, and we still shake hands and everything's fine. Like, boxing is boxing, but we're both humans. He's trying to get in my head at that stage, but I didn't take it to heart.
So, you were a unified champion. You fought Miguel Cotto and Gennady Golovkin, but I remember you were severely weight drained for that one, right?
We struggled a fair bit for that one. It was such a balancing act to try and get everything perfect. That one probably wasn't as bad as the Cotto fight. The Cotto was actually at a catch weight, so and we only had 7.5 weeks notice. Because we're getting like thrown around a little bit. Like, I was meant to fight at super middleweight before that against another fighter, and then 7 weeks beforehand they said, "Do you want to fight Cotto?" And I was like, "Of course." And they're like, "Yeah, but there's a catch," and so that was a bit tricky, and obviously. Previously, I was fighting at super middleweight, so I was trying to bulk up and strengthen up, and then they throw me at catch weight for my next fight. So it was definitely a huge struggle to try and get down to that weight limit, but I made it against what everybody thought. That everybody thought I wasn't going to make that weight. I made it. Did it affect me in the fight? You know, who knows? But you know, obviously I didn't fight as good as I should have or could have. But you know, that's boxing as well.
And lastly, before they start disruption, you know, a lot of people were scared to fight Gennady Golovkin, especially at that stage of his career, probably when he was at his most dangerous. How hard did he actually hit?
He's very powerful, and a lot of people ask me about the power. But to be honest, the power was one thing. It was the skill and like the accuracy and the skill of the fighter as well. His footwork never gets looked at, never gets talked about, but his feet were like impeccable, and it was very difficult to get away from a fighter like that. He moves well, and he obviously punches very hard as well. So it is what it is.
And lastly, you know, big superstars, we've got some great fighters coming out of Australia. We've got Tszyu rematching Fundora in a couple of weeks. I don't know if you saw the first fight, but I'm sure like you're aware of all the blood and the demons he's got since then. How do you fancy his chances going to the rematch?
So it comes down to one big thing, but you know, obviously after that first fight, you know, losing a lot of blood, with the cut, you know, very frustrating. It probably should have been stopped, but it wasn't. He had to fight through it. Then he fought the Russian kid, and it didn't turn out so well. Obviously, fighting at high level, like top levels, stuff like that happens. As long as he's still got the hunger and the desire, you know, I think he'll do well. I think he'll be a different fighter now. You know, obviously, he has been hurt before, so you know, I hope that doesn't play into it. But yeah, if he goes in with the same game plan as he has before, you know, obviously with some defensive skills added to it, you know, I think he'll be good.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, man. It was awesome watching you over the years, and appreciate you speaking with us.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.